Hello beautiful people, thank you so much again for visiting my channel, and for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I'm very excited to have you here. Now I wanted to speak on something today that I know that we all suffer from, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to stay in those places when we get there. And so I wanted to discuss how to be happy no matter what, at least in most situations. I practice these things myself whenever I feel like I'm in a rut or whenever I wake up and I'm just absolutely not feeling the best. And I would say that relatively I'm a very happy person. I'm very active and energetic, and I love that about myself. But again, I'm human, and there are those days where I'm just sort of just in my thoughts or in my head a little bit, or I just, something in the air, and I'm just not feeling my best self. And I want you guys to know, even though I promote and I tell you guys all the time to be absolutely, positive and, be, open to just positive changes in your life, I want you to know that it's absolutely okay to be human also, because at the end of the day, you are, and we are emotional beings, okay, that have feelings. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but fortunately, we can't escape them, because it's okay to feel, even if it's, sad sometimes, or, but not allowing ourselves to get in depressive states, or allowing ourselves to just kind of like wallow in sadness. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So if you'd like to hear what I have to say, and if you'd like to hear my tips on how to be happy no matter what, please keep watching. Again, I don't want you guys to neglect the fact that you are human and that you will feel sad at times. I want you guys to understand that it is completely normal and it is completely okay to not be frolicking all over the place all the time, super happy, because, hey, let's just be real, right? But I want you guys to have happier days than you have sad days. I do feel like we can really transform our lives and transform our moods and our attitude towards life once we start to condition our minds in the right way to be happy, to be positive, to be optimistic. That brings me to my first tip. My first tip is to be grateful, to express gratitude at all times. Not only when you're feeling sad, not only when you're feeling down, but I want you guys to express gratitude very often. When things happen in your life that you feel like you need to express gratitude for, or even it's the simple things that you may feel like, oh, this is every day, everyone has this, it's not true. Everyone does not have what you have. And expressing gratitude can really allow you to put yourself in a space where you're so appreciative of the little that you have, which in retrospect for someone else is like so much, you know what I'm saying? And again, when you're expressing gratitude, you're also vibrating at a high frequency, and you're also going to be attracting to you those high frequency things, like the things that you desire in your life. I keep a gratitude book. And I write down, not every single day, but I try to write down most of the time, what I am appreciative of, and, the things that may seem very minuscule, but technically is a huge part of my life. So expressing gratitude is something that just puts you in a headspace where it's like, geez, I am so blessed to have all these things in abundance. You know what I'm saying? The things that you may even overlook, like, someone smiling at you yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thank the universe for those things too. It's like, it doesn't seem as if it's all like it's for you, but it really is, and it impacted you in a way. That's why I always try to share my smile with the world, because a lot of us don't see it. People walk around with their faces like, and it's like, what, where's the fun in that? You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Share your smile with the world. Okay, detour around this tip, but share your smile with the world, and make sure that you're sending out inviting vibes. So I always smile. I always give out good vibes and positive vibes, and it just does me so good. So tip number 1 is be grateful for what you have and express gratitude at all times. And on the days that you are not feeling so well, or on the days that you're feeling just a little bit down, if you just write down the things that you're grateful for, or even repeat them in your head. I am so grateful for life. I'm so grateful to have this roof over my head. I am so grateful to have friends that love me unconditionally. I am so grateful to have a family that loves me unconditionally. I'm so grateful to have a job that allows me to be creative. I am so appreciative and I'm so grateful that I have this mind, this eye. I'm so grateful that I have the breath moving through me. I'm so happy that I can be able to afford to surround myself with plants and books and knowledge and people that are feeding me great things. And that's only a very short list of the things that I'm grateful for, but there's so many things that you can express gratitude for, and that will allow you, again, to just put you in a headspace where it's like you're so appreciative of the things that you have and not only concerned with the things that you don't have. Just because you don't have what you want at the moment, or you're not at you don't have your dream car, your dream house, or your dream job, like just because you don't have those things right now does not mean that you're not supposed to be appreciative of what you do have, which is, again, those little things that are going to make up the whole. So be appreciative for what you have and show and express gratitude at all times. It does not need to be something extravagant. It does not need to be something just like striking. Like, just be appreciative for the little that you have, and the little that you have can go a very long way and also develop and graduate to even bigger and better. Tip number 2. Appreciation versus expectation. It is so crippling when we sit there and we expect all these things from life and from people and from circumstances instead of appreciating what it is that is in front of us and what just actually is. Because when you're expecting something to be some way, it's because you already have it in your mind of what you want it to be. And sometimes what you want and how you want things to be is not necessarily the way that it should be or the way that it just is going to be regardless. When you switch your mind from just expecting things to be this way, you'll allow yourself to appreciate what is happening in almost every situation, even the bad ones. The other day, for instance, I was stuck on the train for almost an hour, stuck underground, and that was absolutely no fun. I was very annoyed at, in the moment, and I'm like, this is so annoying actually. And then I had to stop myself and I had to say, Nyah, it's happening anyways, so why are you going to work yourself up about what is supposed to be? You can't go and drive this train yourself and make it move any faster. So allow yourself to be still in this moment, to appreciate just where you are on this train with these diverse groups of people, and appreciate the fact that you are alive and you are here and you are well. You know what I'm saying? You're in New York City and that's somewhere you always wanted to be, and I just find all these little things to appreciate about the moment that I was in. I was able to sit on the train and meditate a bit. I was able to read a bit. I was able to visualize my future and my endeavors and the things that I want to accomplish in my life. And they just made me actually more excited than probably I would have been if I was just on the move and on the run, going to where I had to go. And so, I just completely switched that around by appreciating the fact that I was stuck on the train, because it allowed me to do, all these other things that I might not have gotten the chance to do had the train ran its normal route. Once you start to change your mindset towards those mishaps, you'll be able to appreciate something in everything that goes wrong. I pinky promise. What I want you guys to understand is that nothing that is for you will ever miss you. It will not miss you if it is for you. And I find so much peace in that, because I allow myself to not stress so much about what I expected and what I wanted things to be, but instead I'm like, you know what, this is happening for a reason, and if it's not meant for me, it's just not meant for me. And when you approach situations like that in your life, and relationships in your life like that, and circumstances as they're thrown at you, you will understand the importance of appreciating things versus expecting things to be a certain way. So find peace in the now, find peace in what happens and how it happens, and find the good in it. And I know that there are some things that are harder for us to swallow and harder for us to accept and to acknowledge and appreciate as something that is good. But it is a work in process, and it is something that I constantly work on. So I'm not telling you guys to, wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, everything is sunny and great. But it is something that you can gradually move towards, and constantly condition your mind to see the good in things. There's so many things to just be optimistic about. So why not choose to be optimistic Tip number 3, fear less. Fear less. If you are so concerned with, the future or how things are going to turn out, or, you guys are probably really anxious about it, right? You're anxious about a meeting, or you're anxious about how something is going to happen or how it's going to turn out. And that strikes up fear inside of you. Anxiety is obviously so closely linked to fear, because we're so anticipating of what's going to happen, and sometimes it's not necessarily good things that we're anticipating to happen. It's kind of bad things, and so we start to fear what is to come, and we get all anxious on the inside, and we're like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? This isn't going to work in my favor. And then we overthink, and then we start to just like have too much noise in our heads, and we don't focus on the fact that there is something to appreciate in this very moment that we're living in. And it does not do us any good to fear anything that has not happened. We're all vibrating at a certain frequency, so that of which we want and that of which we do not want is also vibrating at a certain frequency. So if our frequency matches that of which we do not want, but we're constantly thinking about it and feeding that negative energy, then guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna grow, and it's gonna grow, and it's gonna grow, and it's gonna grow. So it'll probably be in your best interest, I pinky promise, to just relax, let things happen naturally, and if you can have control of the situation, be positive and think positively about the future if that's what you're going to do. So instead of fearing what has not yet happened, try to find the good in what possibly can happen. And then that leads me to my 4th tip, which is to visualize. And whenever I feel like, I'm not where I want to be, like, just in life in general, what I do is I visualize my life in the future. I visualize with things that I'm working on and where I see myself being very happy, and where I see myself in the space that I have, my studio and my apartment, my, relationship, my friendships, my, daily endeavors, my travels. I think about and I put myself in a headspace where I am so excited, because all I'm seeing in my head are just all these wonderful things that I aspire and I dream of. And obviously we all have dreams and we all have aspirations, and so if you sit with yourself and just close your eyes for a minute and just allow yourself to feel and to see the things that you envision yourself having in your life, then guess what? That's automatically going to put you in a headspace where you're so happy and so appreciative of the journey that you're on, and not being too critical of it. And tip number 5, love yourself. Show yourself so much love, and never ever fail to do that. If you're not loving yourself, then the world cannot love you back. If you're not loving yourself, you're not doing yourself a favor, you're doing yourself a disservice. Love yourself, because it really is the holy grail to happiness, and I'm not kidding when I say that. Being happy it can be so effortless if we just practice these things every day, and if we practice being more positive than negative, and if we be more fearless than fearful, and if we let go of anxiety and fear, it's like we can really be so much happier. So number 5, love yourself. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so excited to see your faces in the next video. I have a lot of content and ideas that I will be publishing on my YouTube channel on a weekly basis, and I'm very excited to share them with you. So share my video with people that you feel may need this message, and subscribe, like, interact with me, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'm so excited to see your face in the next video. Remember to be you and stay true always, because at the end of the day, that's ultimately what makes us the happiest. Love always.